After 7 months of inactivity, RF Elements recently posted a new short video to their YouTube channel where they are talking about the durability of their Ultra Horn product after 5 years in ocean air. And I want to do a series of videos where I talk about the misconceptions and myths that RF Elements puts out there, basically share my opinion about RF Elements misleading marketing and their products. And somebody recently asked why I think it's appropriate for me to comment on RF Elements when it doesn't seem like RF Elements comments on me. And similarly, why I think it's okay to comment on their customers when their customers don't comment on me. I think that it's important to address that because this is a common perception because I comment almost daily about RF Elements, whereas RF Elements doesn't really seem to comment much about me. First, RF Elements commented on Isohorn's very first social media post where we announced our horn antennas in Wisp Talk. 2 out of 3 RF Elements partners commented that we were copying them. And when Isohorns blocked RF Elements so that they couldn't leave negative comments on our posts, they complained to the admin team and had us removed from the group. So RF Elements commented first, they commented negatively. Importantly, they commented unfairly. So we did not copy RF Elements. We were not copying RF Elements. We were introducing brand new 6 gigahertz horns, high performance horns, wideband horns. These were firsts in the WISP industry. We were not copying RF Elements, but RF Elements accused us falsely of copying them. And once they did that, that gave permission to their fans to harass us. And we have been the subject of RF Elements harassment for years now. And Miss Fixit is on the record here in this private group where we're not allowed to participate and defend ourselves as calling Isohorns a shady company when a customer is asking their thoughts on Isohorns versus RF Elements. This is not a fair statement. This is not saying anything specific. This is just disparagement for no reason. And so if Sarah Kerr can give her opinion about Isohorns in a private group where we're not allowed to defend ourselves, I think it's perfectly fair for me to share my opinion about her videos promoting RF Elements, which I plan to do. So let's get started. I'm not going to play this video. This video is pixelated. I'm going to go to Sarah Kerr's YouTube channel where the original video is. You can see that the video quality is much higher here. Let's get started.
Hey guys, so we're doing some tower work here today, and we're bringing...
Okay, first of all, it's said that this is 5 years in ocean air. And you can see here the tower, you can see this shipping container, you can see this propane tank. And all of them are in pristine condition. There is no evidence of corrosion anywhere. I live in a corrosive environment along the Gulf Coast, and this is not how things look in my environment. This is how things look in a non-corrosive environment. Let's continue.
Some equipment and cleaning it up and moving it to different sites, but I figured this is a great opportunity to show you how well RF Element stands up. We're on the east coast of Canada. The air here is salty because it's ocean air, and this has been up for, what, about 5 years? It's been up for 5 years, so let's take a look at how the plastics have held up. That's pretty good. I mean, geez.
Okay. The most, I think, obvious sign that this is not salty air, not corrosive environment, is this old truck here with the chrome bumper. In a corrosive environment, trucks do not look like this. Winches do not look like this. Let's continue the video.
Just a tiny bit crispy. 5 years, that's not terrible. It's still got the flexibility to it. But you can see that it's got a little bit of stress around there. That was obviously for me. Let's see here. You can see that the paint still holding up. It's lost it.
Okay, so she taps on the horn there, and she says that the paint is holding up. This horn is made with composite construction and then has aluminum foil inside. And you can see on a different Ms. Fix-It video the construction of the Ultra horn here. She took off the radome. Let's take a look.
Like that.
That is cool.
Hey guys, that's kind of beyond cool, no? That's like some sci-fi type bullshit.
I want to put a light bulb in it now.
Yeah. I think that it would make a really cool light.
I think it would. I think you should take that tower light that's fucking put it right in the end of it. We can use it to really scare.
Okay, so this construction on the Ultra horn is basically a copy of Ubiquity's ISO station. With the ISO station, there was a clear radome, so you could see it, and then you can also take off the horn, and you can see the shininess of the foil there on the ring here. And RF Elements basically copied this construction technique from Ubiquity. This was released in 2017. I believe the Ultra horn was released around 2019, 2020. And what's interesting, not only did RF Elements copy Ubiquity's construction technique, this is what RF Elements said about Ubiquity's construction technique as they were copying it.
You know, if you do that spray foil sort of on the inside, and then after a year or two that breaks down, it's no bueno.
Yeah,
you know?
that's not good.
Yeah, so basically they're copying Ubiquity, but at the same time they're disparaging Ubiquity for having this composite and aluminum foil construction. It's not obvious to most people that the Ultra horn is also using the same construction technique because they don't use a clear radome. And as you could see from Sarah Kerr's video here, this part closest to the feed is die cast. So if you look at it from the point of view of the TwistPort, you're going to see some die cast materials. But it's the die cast that has historically been the problem for RF Elements, because they use a cheap powder coating, and that powder coating gets scratched, and then you get corrosion, which causes the powder coating to flake, which then causes more corrosion, and you get this runaway corrosion effect. But also the radomes get damaged. So with RF Elements' older products, their die-cast products, particularly their symmetrical horns, the radomes would get damaged, and then you would get corrosion on the inside. And that would affect the RF performance of those antennas. This video from Sarah Kerr is just glossing over all of that. It's ignoring all of that. It's focusing on this horn antenna, saying that it's in a corrosive environment when it obviously isn't. And basically misleading people to believe that RF Elements makes great products because one of their antennas, which is built using different construction techniques than all their other antennas, has held up in this environment supposedly for 5 years. Let's keep going.
A finish, of course. It's not as shiny as it was. Look at the brackets on here and all that. Everything's good. This is an older one, and you can tell because of the bolt set that's on it, which...
So this is the first evidence we see of corrosion. So this is corrosion caused by two dissimilar metals. You've got stainless steel bolts going into what looks like steel threading. And then the steel threading is a sacrificial anode and suffers from corrosion, which then bleeds onto the bolts. So I don't believe that this corrosion is coming from the stainless steel. It's coming from the steel threading that it's going into, but it bleeds over onto the stainless steel bolts. And this is caused by two dissimilar metals in contact with each other.
Was he able to get them loose? Yep, he got them loose. All right, and last but not least, let's look at the plastics here. So actually, you know what? Let me just see. Here, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to take this off. Well, I didn't pause it. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So the plastics, of course, are a little bit yellowed. That happens. Corrosion on the inside here is minimal. Okay, look at the inside of the waveguide, though. It's just perfect. Perfect.
Okay, so she says that the waveguide is perfect. I disagree. The biggest problem with RF elements isn't the durability. It's the RF performance. If an antenna doesn't perform well, it doesn't matter what the durability is like. Yes, most of RF elements antennas lack durability and fall apart over time. But that's actually a good thing when you consider that their antennas are bad with RF performance. And a lot of that is due to this TwistPort. I'm going to go back to it.
Okay, look at the inside.
Okay, so with this TwistPort has a bad frequency range, it's a narrow frequency range. It doesn't even cover the entire 5 gigahertz band. What that means is that when you pair it with a ubiquity radio like this, and you encounter noise or interference, you can't use all of the 5 gigahertz band to avoid that interference. You can only go from 5.18 to 6.0, basically just the upper part of the band. You don't get access to those lower channels. But even at 5.2, we've seen that there's significant VSWR and gain performance problems. So the lower 5 gigahertz does not perform well with this TwistPort and with this horn. And so it doesn't matter if this holds up well or not. It has bad RF performance. The longer this antenna stays up on that tower, the more negative value it provides to this WISP, and importantly to the WISP customers that are connected to it. The quicker you upgrade this antenna to a real high performance antenna, the sooner you stop losing money from this antenna. So the problem with this antenna really has nothing to do with the durability and everything to do with RF performance. If you don't have good RF performance, then the durability doesn't matter.
Waveguide, though, it's just perfect. Perfect. Shiny, beautiful shape. So this has been up for 5 years, and we're just taking her down now, and as you can see, she's held up really well. These are great antennas, and this is why I've always stood behind RF Elements. They're a great company, and I know they've treated us pretty good.
So RF Elements is not a great company. They don't make good antennas. That's not a good antenna, and this is not a corrosive environment. Whether or not this is going to be repurposed or sold on eBay, I don't know. But it doesn't have any resale value anyway. These antennas were liquidated on Baltic Network for $100 each. Basically not worth even bothering with eBay. Thanks for watching.